Hey, welcome to the channel. This week we're going to be going through our entire Splinter collection. If you've been keeping up with these sets, we've already covered the 4 Turtles, the Shredder, and 8 Below Neil most recently. So this time we're going to turn our attentions to the Turtles Mentor. Needless to say, Splinter's had quite a few variants over the years from that very first Playmates toy. But that seems like the perfect place to start. So here we have our vintage Splinter figure. This is one we picked up in a bundle not long ago. Luckily it does include his soft goods robe, along with his bow and arrow and his walking stick with the concealed blade. Not a great deal of articulation in this figure, but it is pretty iconic, isn't it? I'm pleased to have this one loose on display in the set. Alongside that one, we also have 2 carded versions, so you can get an idea as to the other bits and pieces that came with them. You do normally get a couple of ninja stars, and obviously all fixed on the sprue like most of them were. This one was the 2022 re-release or reissue. We also have the slightly earlier 2013 one where they changed the graphics up slightly, but same figure. The only thing you will notice on these is that this one's got the white eyes, whereas this one's actually got the eyeballs painted in. Otherwise, pretty much the same figure. Much more recently, of course, we've had the Super 7 reimagining of these figures, the larger versions. This is their Ultimate Splinter. Very much tried to keep it in line with that classic figure, adding in some much needed articulation. But yeah, they've done a lovely job with these to still give the feel and the nostalgia from those original classic figures. You put them alongside, you know, there's no denying the inspiration. So yeah, really cool to have this larger version of that classic figure in the set as well. We've also got the reissue of the movie star Splinter. Now, this is a bit of a cop-out on Playmate's behalf, because this figure is not actually the same figure as that movie star version. They've just slightly repainted and altered the classic figure, and obviously tried to make him look as close to that movie version as possible. But nevertheless, I don't have the classic figure of this, which I think was sort of felt or sort of flocked sort of finish. So I'm pleased to have this one in the set. So at least we've got something to go alongside those movie style turtles. As you can see, the accessories are all exactly the same as that first version. On the back you can see the cross-sell with the other movie star versions. Now, talking about the movie, got to have the NECA 90s movie Splinter. This is an excellent figure, a really great recreation of the Jim Henson puppet. They've got the look on his face spot on, all the detailing, and the soft goods are deliberately meant to look very worn. I absolutely love this particular figure. One of my favourites, I have to say. Now, of course, we can't forget possibly the most iconic Splinter we've had, certainly if you're my age and grew up in the late 80s. This is the NECA Splinter from the Toon line, recreating that awesome late 80s cartoon Splinter. Again, with NECA, you can't fault the accuracy. They've managed to get the essence of this character spot on in the figure. Again, soft goods. This is another one that would be in my top 5. I had to choose my favourite Splinters in the collection. Very, very cool. So, after those classic years, we had the 2003 sort of reimagining. They've kept the soft goods, but they've opted for brown rather than the sort of more customary purple up to this point. Again, he's got his walking stick with a concealed blade and his bow and arrow. And here he's got a sheath with some more arrows to carry as well. The character is sort of grey rather than sort of brown, which we've had up to this point. But yeah, again, you can see unmistakably that it's Splinter. Also includes this little ooze. I don't have one of these loose on display at the moment, actually. A slightly closer look here. Yeah, nice, nice figure, this one. Okay, so if we move forward a little further still, and past that 2003 Turtle series, we've then got the CGI 2007 TMNT movie Splinter. This is another one that I don't have on display loose, but I have got him carded. I'm a big fan of this Splinter, both in terms of the film and in terms of this lovely character. No soft goods this time from Playmates. They've sort of moulded everything to him, and he's got some slightly different accessories than what we're used to. He's got this sort of staff here, or very large walking stick, and he's got this sort of, I don't know what this is, sort of like a grappling sort of staff or something. Yeah, another really cool interpretation of this character. See him on the back with all the cross cell. Yeah, really lovely figure, this one. Right, jumping forward again, we're now into 2012 territory, one of my favourite eras of the Turtles. And here we have the original Splinter design. Only comes with his blue staff, this one. You see the right up there. We do have that one loose, as you can see here. This sort of staff is almost translucent, and no soft goods on this one. Again, he's got the really long chin beard, but a pretty cool interpretation of the figure, I think. They did do one variation on this one, and that is the Dojo Splinter. He comes with all this dojo training gear, including his mask and this training sword. You can take this mask off if you want to, and show his face. It's a slightly different mould and paint finish on this. Less white around the sides, and he's got his mouth open, sort of showing his teeth. A bit more aggressive. Yeah, very, very cool. We do have the Dojo Splinter on the card as well. I appreciate all the graphics and of course the write-up. We've got the first Michael Bay movie Splinter. Here he is. Again, not got this one loose on display, just the carded version. Starting to get pretty stingy with the accessories at this point. Just literally comes with his sword and sheath. Not a bad figure, this one. It's okay, but not a version of the Turtles or Splinter that lives long in the memory. Not a film that I'm particularly fond of. This is one that's nice to have in the set, but certainly wouldn't get anywhere near my favourite Splinters. And then we've got the second version. This is the Out of the Shadows Splinter, which again is fine, but not one that I'm massively fond of. Again, nice to have it in the collection, but not my favourite. And this is the carded version. Again, you've got the same sort of sword and sheath as the previous version, although this one does come with an additional walking sort of staff as well. There's the cross on the back. Okay, we're getting there now. Just a couple more to go through before we round up this video. Next up is the Rise of the TMNT Splinter. This is kind of unique, really. For the first time, they've made him a slightly sort of shorter, squatter, sort of tubbier character. This series really did sort of do its own thing, full stop, really, with the characters and the story. And this little character itself, this figure, is pretty good. You've still got the classic staff, and it is nice to have a completely different interpretation of the figure for a change. Once again, we've got the carded version here. As you can see, it does normally come with a couple of little ninja stars as well. And there's the cross sale on the back. And our final loose figure is this Mutant Mayhem Splinter. And this one sort of feels like a bit of an amalgamation of some of the previous figures, really. They've still gone back to the sort of purple colour of his robe and that. Again, the toy comes with the walking stick and the hidden blade, which sort of harks back to those earlier figures. He is more of a sort of a greyish colour, the toy at least. So slightly different there. But yeah, I do like this version of Splinter. I've got to say, I love this film. Other than the original 1990 film, this is a strong contender for the second best Turtle movie that they've made so far. And yeah, the actual figure itself is pretty good. The tail helps him stand, and I think it's pretty accurate to the movie itself. So yeah, very cool. We've got the carded version here, which shows all the rest of the accessories that he comes with. Here it is. And latterly, they released a second version. And what I like about this one is the fact they have gone back to a soft goods robe for him. This is the Mutations Mix and Match version. So you get all these extra limbs and heads and stuff, so you can switch them out if you want to. This one comes with a sort of orange bow and arrow and a sort of staff here. So yeah, quite cool. I've also got these two weird little things at the front. I'm not entirely sure what these are. These two, this one and the Rise Stamper, these just came in little bundles of toys that I bought at some point, so I've kept hold of them. Yeah, you've got this one is a stamper of that Rise of the TMNT version of Splinter, and this is a sort of a squishy something. Looks like a bit of a pencil topper or something, but yeah, I kept hold of it, so there we go. So if we discount these two smaller ones at the front, I believe that gives us 14 versions of Splinter in the collection. As I was editing this video, it suddenly dawned on me there was one more figure which I'd forgotten to put in, and that is this TMNT Adventures Splinter. Although from what I can tell, they've just taken the original Splinter figure and changed it slightly, so you've got different soft goods, as you can see here, and obviously on the face, the paint detail is slightly different. Other than that, pretty much the same, but another one to add to the pile. So what does that bring us up to? 15? Unlike most of the videos I've made along these lines, there aren't really many Splinters that I would like to pick up now. I believe I'm right in saying I've got all of the main Playmates versions that have been released. I'm sort of half contemplating picking up the Mirage Comics NECA version, which I may well go for at some point. But in terms of all the main TV shows and the movies, I think we've got a really nice spread of figures here. I suppose I could be tempted to pick up a vintage movie star Splinter, so I've got a more accurate version of that figure. But overall, I'm really pleased with this collection. I love looking back on how the Splinter toys have evolved from the sort of late 80s right up to the present day with some of the most recent releases. Okay, I think that'll do us. Can I say a massive thanks for watching the video. If you've enjoyed looking at this part of our TMNT collection, then do consider giving it a like. And if you'd like to see more of these individual character collection videos on the channel, leave me a note in the comments below as to who you'd like me to cover, and I'll see what I can do. Until next time, have a great week and take it easy.